It's Thursday, December 10th, and the time for the Barbados Today Morning News Update. One of the world's leading leisure and travel companies is reportedly bypassing Barbados as a destination of choice for its customers in favor of others with less stringent COVID-19 protocols regarding testing. And Tourism Minister Senator Lisa Cummins, who is aware of the development, says Barbados is willing to sacrifice some business from major industry partners rather than put the population at risk. She made the comments in response to concerns that Barbados could be losing some major business from the German-based TUI group, which has decided to sever ties with destinations with strict protocols and only deal with those with more relaxed or no protocols in place.
The government of Barbados, the Ministry of Tourism, prides itself on being marketed and being a safe destination. What makes us safe has been the level of diligence being practiced by our public health officials. When we started with the second test, there was a lot of resistance in some instances. But over time, we have begun to see more and more countries reaching out to me and out to our public health officials looking to introduce a second test. We have seen across the region that has been the case. And why is that? Because we needed to ensure here in Barbados that our people were kept safe, that our guests were kept safe. If you look at the data, and I mentioned it earlier, from the Ministry of Health, which is publicly available on the dashboard, every single day, about 95% of our tests are coming, of our positive cases are being detected on the second test. We are very happy that partners like British Airways, Virgin Atlantic, American Airlines, and others, and even in our conversations with IATA, have been supportive of the public health measures that Barbados has put in place. On the other hand, there are partners who, in my view, are making a decision that put their guests at risk. Barbados will not be a part of that.
Speaking during the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association's fourth quarterly general meeting, which was held virtually yesterday, Senator Cummins, however, agreed that there was need for a strategic plan to be put in place to fill any gaps.
The BTMI has been asked to take responsibility for market penetration. We have asked the BHTA just maybe yesterday, to provide us with your occupancy projections for the months of December and January, and then I perhaps can add February. And once we get those projections, we commit to working with you to ensure that we can match your projections with our marketing and with our development of those partnerships that I spoke about earlier, so that we can fill as many rooms as possible. But what we will not do is fill as many rooms as possible and with any partners that we can at any cost. So if they have chosen, and I do know that they have chosen to go to other destinations, that is a choice that TUI can make, and that is their decision to make. But for Barbados, we will protect this homeland with everything that we have, because at the end of COVID, we have to ensure that when guests come to Barbados, that they're able, one, to benefit from a safe destination, but also they're able to benefit from a population that receives them warmly and is able to say that we kept people safe at this time, and we did not put visitors or business or even money at the expense of Barbadian lives and Barbadian livelihoods.
Opposition Senator Crystal Drakes wants government to disclose the island's latest unemployment figures. She issued the call in the Senate during her contribution to the debate on the Central Bank Amendment Bill yesterday. Senator Drakes pointed out that in two of the central bank's reports, no official numbers for unemployment were given, and such information should be readily available to the public.
While going through this COVID-19 pandemic and all of the disruptions that it has caused, I am yet to hear an estimated figure for the rate of unemployment in Barbados. When I say what is the official rate of unemployment, both the bank's reports for the end of March and the end of June have not available. If anyone in this room can stand and give me the official rate of unemployment, I would be happy to hear what it is. I did not ask, Mr. President, how many unemployment claims came through the NIS. I asked, what is the rate of unemployment? Because what is clear is that stating that 40,000 NIS claims have been processed or gone through the NIS is not an accurate representation.
Newly appointed independent Senator Julian Hunt has issued a call for better treatment of the working class. In his first address in the upper house yesterday, the Barbados Workers' Union and Deputy General Secretary said he was honored to carry on the work on behalf of the trade union movement. Senator Hunt takes the Senate seat of BWU General Secretary Tony Moore, now MP for St. George North.
I am happy to join this honorable chamber at this time, in this capacity, at a time when the labor relations landscape of our country, I don't know if I should say it is in flux, but it certainly is going through some change. November this year, a time when Barbadians would have preferred if the hardest thing they had to contemplate was whether they wanted their conkeys with or without raisins. Too many members of the working class have had to find themselves on the sidewalks, remonstrating their inability to access severance pay entitled to them, that they're entitled to, which is owed to them. And I'm joining the Senate at this time when too many Barbadians are finding it difficult to have even reasonable access to labor relations advice at work, because there seems to be a system of rollback of the gains that have been won by labor over the decades.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To developments in the Caribbean, the region must redouble COVID-19 preventive measures, especially in preparation for the holidays. So says Director of the Pan American Health Organization, Dr. Caricia Etienne, who makes it clear that now is not the time to relax. She is also urging countries in the Americas, including the Caribbean, to issue clear guidance to protect communities and act to boost hospital capacity in affected areas.
So it's important for health authorities in our region to act by issuing clear guidance and helping communities protect themselves and their loved ones. We are once again in need of coordinated efforts to boost hospital capacity in the most affected areas. Because when hospitals can't accommodate everyone who's sick, many will die while waiting for care. We are hopeful that the COVID-19 vaccines, which will soon come to market, will help contain the pandemic. But this will take time and advanced planning.
Dr. Etienne disclosed that PAHO's Directing Council will hold talks this week to discuss preparations for vaccine introductions.
While a number of vaccine candidates are under consideration, no vaccine has been approved for distribution across our region yet. This week, PAHO is convening member states in an extraordinary session of our Directing Council, where we'll meet with the ministers of health of our region to discuss the preparation for vaccine rollout and the purchasing and distribution of COVID-19 vaccines in the region through our revolving fund and through the COVAX facility. Despite the financial hardships that our region has incurred during the pandemic, countries in the Americas have done their part in securing more than $1 billion in down payments and financial guarantees to engage with COVAX.
And finally, Canada's health regulator has approved the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine a day after the UK became the first country in the world to roll it out. Now, advisors to the Food and Drug Administration are set to meet on Thursday to formally review whether the United States should authorize its use. More from Reuters TV.
As coronavirus cases in the U.S. soared past the 15 million mark, overwhelming hospitals and forcing new restrictions in pockets across the country, approval of a vaccine could be just around the corner. A panel of outside advisors are set to vote Thursday on whether to recommend the FDA issue an emergency authorization of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine. Health officials predict a swift green light, enabling the U.S. to join Britain, Bahrain, and now Canada.
At last, we have a reason to feel optimistic,
which approved the vaccine Wednesday, saying it is safe, effective, and of good quality. Now attention shifts to the U.S., where approval rests with the FDA, an agency that U.S. infectious disease expert Dr. Anthony Fauci says you can trust.
If the United States Food and Drug Administration says that a vaccine is safe and effective, I can promise you that I will take that vaccine myself, and I will recommend that my family does that.
In a virtual conversation with Dr. Sanjay Gupta on Wednesday, Fauci hailed the coming vaccines, but warned Americans not to let their guards down.
If you've been vaccinated, you probably still need to wear a mask. Am I right? Because you could still be carrying the virus, potentially transmitting it, even if you're less likely to get sick yourself.
Absolutely. There's no doubt. So wearing a mask, physical distancing, avoiding crowds, that should all stay as we get into the vaccine program.
That's news. But for the very latest, visit us at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.